It seems like every new Valorant episode, players online talk about how the rank system is broken, the rank reset is too drastic, and Riot needs to get themselves together. After taking a small break from Valorant for the holidays, I decided to hop on comp and finish all 5 of my placements in one go. This is the story of the most grueling placement matches I've ever had. Split's back, and although I haven't used her in quite a while, I decided to run it down with Astra. Although she isn't the OP controller she once used to be, the versatility she has with her kit is unmatched, and I think Split is her playground. We started off going down both of our pistol rounds, but bounced back with 2 rounds. The next couple of rounds went back and forth, neither team getting more than a 2-round advantage. Since Split is home to a lot of close engagements, smokes play an even more important role on this map, and although having a Viper or Brim ult can be very valuable on this map, I prefer the flexibility that Astra has. If you're gonna feel her impact on the map, it will be on offense, and finishing the half down 5-7 didn't seem so bad. The second half we came out swinging, using Astra's abilities to lock down B for pistol round, and carrying our momentum through a couple of rounds.
Are you fucking blinded me?
Two more there, 3 more there behind the wall, 3 behind the wall.
Prepare for hellfire. 1 enemy.
After some struggle, we began chaining some rounds together, but unfortunately, the lead wouldn't last, and the win continued to get further away from our grasp.
I think in this corner. Please.
Game 1 ends as a loss, but I end up top fragging as Astra, so I'm confident I can turn it around in these next few games.
You should run. I'll find you.
I want you to think for a second. Do you have an agent that you just feel like whenever you're playing them, you just can't get anything going? Cause that happens to be Fade for me. Well, there's 4 of them and there's 1 of me. Surely I'm able to make something work here, right? It's not like all of them are gonna have ults.
Missed me. My ult is ready.
It might seem like I have things under control, but I really feel uncomfortable playing Fade, which is such a shame because when Fade first came out, I actually grinded learning how to play Fade efficiently, and for whatever reason, it's just kind of gone away. This game started out rough. At one point we were going up in a 4v5, but somehow my team was able to chain a couple of rounds together, and this game slowly but surely started to seem like a game where I was going to get carried.
Last player standing.
After taking out my frustration on this bush, I started to realize that my main frustration was feeling like I wasn't really winning. I don't know what it is about playing an agent and feeling like you're getting kills while using that agent, but not because you're using their abilities well, but rather because you're getting good gunfights or good timings. There were plenty of times throughout this match where I could see that I was just using abilities for the sake of using them and not really getting any real benefit from them. I'm able to walk away with the W, and considering how hard I felt like I got carried in this match, I can already tell that this episode is gonna be rough for ranked. Game 3 was pretty uneventful, I'm not gonna lie. So we'll glance through this one really quick. I go Cypher, we end up back on Split, and to be honest, from the get-go, it's already looking like an L. Not because we're playing bad, but because nobody's really calming, and the one person that is, well, let's just say they were a little too toxic. I think Valorant has gotten really toxic lately, and I'm thinking about making a video on it, but I haven't really gotten to that point. I'll also take this time to drop a quick plug that you should subscribe. This is the first time I'm trying out a longer video. I've wanted to make a video about placement matches in the past, and hearing about how everybody placed pretty low these placement matches, I figured this was the episode to do it. But again, game 3 ends up being a bit of a dud, so I'll spare you the time and get you to probably the most eventful match of the placement series, Match number 4. People like to rebuttal toxicity by saying that somebody is soft, but I don't think people realize how you gradually can become toxic.
That's okay, we have Phoenix ult. We can just go A and he can entry for us.
You're right, I do have ult, so I proceed to entry, and as you can see here, I clear out sight. I do go down, but because we were able to get into sight, we're able to hold post plan, and everybody does their job just fine. My role as the duelist is to entry onto site, and as you can see here, for the first couple of rounds, I actually have a very hard time doing so. But then my teammates start to provide some feedback that, to be honest, just doesn't help at all.
Let's go.
Hey guys, let's try. Okay, so let's try entering onto a site.
Yeah, how about Phoenix? How about you try it? You're the duelist. I believe in you. Oh yeah.
Good job.
Nice one, Ethan. Whoa!
Hey Mexx, unfortunately that wasn't the time to entry because we used KJO. So like,
It's pretty hard to entry when there isn't any coordination, and nobody's really making any callouts or saying anything over mic, except for Sky, and based off their tone, well, I contemplate muting both her and Astra.
Go Phoenix, go Phoenix, flash out, flash out. Flash out. He's probably hacking, you're just unlucky.
yeah.
I'll be the first to admit that up until this point, I was not having a good game. I was struggling to get onto site. But after being told by Astra and Sky to entry onto site and practically being rushed onto site, I then go ahead and witness my team sit on main for the next 50 to 60 seconds. And this really frustrates me. At this point, I don't really know what I'm gonna do because overall my team is just getting outplayed by the enemy team. And I'm not helping out our case either. But at the same time, it seems like my team would rather go ahead and laugh at me for having a bad game than to try to make something happen. Of course, it doesn't help that our other duelist isn't entering onto site and that I am sitting at the bottom of the leaderboard on attacking side where a duelist should be shining.
10 seconds left.
I punish you. My ult's ready.
Last player standing. Spike down A.
All right, Mexx, I just don't think A's your site. So let's try B. They're gonna use ops, so let me dog first, Mexx.
My smokes are up, my wall is up. Okay, let's go.
Spike down B.
Oh, good shade, Mexx!
Yo, vault, Mexi Poo.
Last player standing.
Hey, Mexx, you might have to do a little more next time.
So I decided to save my ult for the next round, and sure enough, I'm able to entry onto site with it, as you normally would with the Phoenix ult. But because my team decides to go mid, we lose the spike, we have a tough time getting spike from tree, and we lose the round. The following round, the enemy team is just doing a really good job defending, and even though we're trying to get onto site, most of us aren't even making it onto site. And although everybody is shouting for our team to rush into site, even though we continue to die, somehow we're able to close the half with 2 rounds to our name. Pro tip: if you ever do end up getting some toxic teammates, don't be afraid to mute them. It took me the entire first half to realize these guys aren't providing anything useful, and I proceeded to then have my way with the enemy team. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough. And this is where the second story of Game 4 begins. being down 5-12, the Reyna decides to troll our race. And what happens next is the absolute crumble of a team.
Spike down. Defender spawn.
This one's for you.
One enemy remaining. Spike down A. One enemy. 10 seconds left. One enemy.
We make it all the way back to overtime, and this time with my team muted, I decide to do my own thing, forget what my team has to say, and for our offensive round, I come out and get a pick, redeeming myself for the entire first half of the game. Astra and Sky finally begin to try, inspiring our Killjoy once again to also put in her all, and pretty soon, we not only win our offensive round, but then strike hard on the defensive round.
Spike planted.
And come out with a win. What seemed like an impossible win, what seemed like a terrible team to be a part of, after getting muted, somehow ends up being my second win of this placement match series. Game 5 sets me up perfectly. I really like Harbor on this map. I think when it comes to controllers, he's got a lot of versatility, like similar to Astra, but on this map specifically, because of the long lines of sight, I just think he really shines with his different walls that he has at disposal. Overall, this team was really good, and I was hitting shots back and forth, so I felt pretty confident. My team was playing out of their mind.
Spike planted.
One art.
One enemy remaining. Last player standing. One enemy remaining.
And we pretty much walked away with a pretty good lead heading out of the first half.
One enemy remaining.
However, because of the 4 games that I had just gone through, I knew I could not settle down until we actually came out with the win. And sure enough, I ended up losing a very pivotal 1v2 that was practically in the bag for me, and I just didn't play it right. But the following round, I was once again reminded that this team was different.
One's one shot.
Last player standing.
My fault.
I know that when I struggle in a match, I usually don't tend to request guns. I just have this weird sense of asking for a gun when I'm playing really bad. And although overall my team is playing really good, Fade just wasn't keeping up with us. But after giving her my Vandal, she ended up getting the final 3 kills of the match, so I think in the end we all ended up winning. That's it for my placement matches. Thank you for watching. Let me know if you enjoyed this longer form content. Drop down below in the comments your favorite part of this placement match series, and I'll see you all for the next video. Peace out.